Lohen is the type of character that the more you play him, the more addictive his gameplay gets. At first, I wasn't sold on his playstyle, or just how strong he truly is. Lohen is one of his kind. Between his smooth gameplay, fast cryo applications, and high damage potential, ultimately made me having the most fun in Genshin in quite some time by the end of the week. So over the past 7 days, I've been only maining Lohen. And in this video, I'll be going over some of the team comps I've tried out Lohen with, while showcasing what I've learned and mistakes I've made while maining him. Keep in mind that all footage in this video was recorded on the Lunar 7 Creator Experience server, and is subject to change, so please wait for the official release for the final content. Without further ado, here's how I mained Lohen for 7 days. During the first day, I spent the first minutes getting used to his playstyle, to see what he does. Alright, first impression of Lohen, he seems like a person that is very smug. So I'm excited to see what he does against some level 100 enemies, yeah. See how good you are at battling. Whoa, okay. His animations are pretty cool though. So he has like a enhanced skill that I guess he could do before he just got axed. So yeah, he's a Palm character with pretty cool animations, and I didn't even do anything. Those Helishus got mad because of my style points, I guess. Yeah, look at him. Well, I'm not gonna run away from a fight. He does a lot of cryo applications though. Like, first thing I'm noticing for sure, lots of cryo. So yeah, he's pretty much why did I even die to? In order to not get one-shotted, I decided to start building Lohen by first giving him some artifacts. Let me see what I should be putting on Lohen. So for his artifacts, I'm assuming he'd ideally want a Rising Wind set. Or maybe I could just put like Gladiator. Let me just do auto equip and see. Fast equip. Alright, equip whatever I just got. As for weapon, I will definitely be using the Disaster and Remorse weapon, which is his signature, but I might just go for something else first. So for free-to-play options, if he's like more of a DPS character, I'm assuming maybe I can use White Tassel, because this one increases normal attack damage by 48%, which is pretty good since this is what Lohen is doing. Next, I tried out a few teams of Lohen to get a first look on how he performs in various team comps. Alright, so I'm gonna go with a more of a free-to-play team, but mostly just all 4 stars besides Lohen. And let me see how much damage he'll be able to do. Wow, 3,000 already. And then if you use his E, which I kind of missed a lot, he's definitely like helping my other teammates like melting, which I believe that's probably one of his best roles, which is basically 4 melt. Even without leveling up Lohen, I was able to deal 3 to 4k damage just with artifacts alone. So I would consider this to be a great starting point. It was also here when I realized that I made a slight mistake with my team comp. I also noticed that he is a Hexrite character, even though I don't really have any Hexrite on my team right now, so I definitely need to like balance out my team that way as well. Alright, burst. Whoa, okay. His burst actually looks pretty cool. And that does a good amount of damage as well, which is nice. Very satisfying to play. Even though this is still day 1, I'm probably playing them wrong, so I definitely need to like work out what would be the best rotation. Alright, so let's just start off by leveling Lohen as well. Get his level higher. Luckily, I do have a lot of materials already, so wow, he's blowing bubble with his gum. I didn't even know Tevat had gum. Okay, so I'm noticing that he also ascends with crit damage. Interesting, okay. So here are Lohen's current stats. He's already at 70% crit rate and 180% crit damage. Probably because I'm using the White Tassel, which definitely increases a lot of crit rate as well for me. So his build is okay for now, but I'm also interested in trying out different teams with him as well. So for the next team, I decided to try Freeze Lohen since he's a cryo character. I found an Overseer device, since this boss is perfect to use a freeze team with, as I'll be testing out my cryo hits against this boss's mechanics, and damage-wise, it did not disappoint. Wow, okay. His attacks are definitely fast enough to get rid of this boss's like lasers. I've used Dahlia to increase my attack speed. Not sure if I'm increasing it or not, because he's already attacking very fast with his base kit. Since I haven't unlocked Hexerite yet, this was pretty exciting, as I was already doing very good damage for my level. Afterwards, I continued to ascend Lohen, and also leveled up his talents. Next, it was time for an experiment. Okay, so I'm using Klee right now just so I can have my Hexerite buffs. And yeah, she also kind of helps me with my energy. But most importantly though, I want to see how much Lohen will do along with Xiangling. Okay, I still seeing 10k. Not yet. Oh, wait, actually, I saw it. Yeah. So Lohen is actually not the ones doing the melting. Mostly Xiangling's just melt. But yeah, I mean, I'm noticing like He's definitely like a pretty unique character in terms of like his playstyle and also his role in the team. And of course, I'm still dying. This is still pretty hard. One of the best part about Lohen is his fast cryo applications, as I was able to break the boss's shields pretty quickly. Boss is down, and then let's see. Whoa, okay. It's pretty quick. Did like 10k damage pretty fast, and yeah, it's basically it for a flower boss. Wish I could have tested out a little bit longer, but oh well. Like, after playing Lohen for a bit, I'm definitely noticing that he moves a lot as well, so Bennett's Circle might not be ideal for him. Against bosses that move around, Lohen definitely had trouble keeping his buffs. Like, now I'm just out of a circle. But hopefully I'll be able to solve this issue soon. Before the end of day 1, I leveled up the new superconduct artifacts for Lohen to experiment with a different build just to see how it fares with him. Alright, so since I upgraded my artifacts, let me just try out Lohen in a superconduct kind of team and see how well that'll work. I have my official and cookie basically providing the cryo applications, while Lohen is basically just on field dealing the cryo damage, which I think I'm not really seeing that much damage, but hey, who knows? Maybe this flower, I'll be able to do enough damage to a point where I can get rid of a shield. Because Lohen actually attacks pretty fast, right? Yeah, nice. No Nathan character, no problem. The superconduct team might not be the strongest, but it was pretty fun with all the damage numbers I see on my screen. Lohen definitely gave me a very good first impression in the beginning, so it'll be interesting to see how things go from here. Alright, so it's currently day 2. My first goal is to be able to max ascend Lohen and maybe try out even more different teams and potentially his best in slot team as well a little bit. To get some of my sneak peek to day 7 where maybe I just challenge end game content, or even day 6. But my first and foremost goal is to get Lohen to max level. So at level 80, let me see. His current stats are 76% crit rate, 141 crit damage. Although my build isn't really final yet because I've been swapping a lot of artifacts around. So right now I'm using the superconduct set still from yesterday, but I might just revert back to a Rising Wind set. So I'll probably just go back to this set, which my stats now are looking okay still. Essentially, I have 200% crit damage, but once I ascend Lohen to level 90, I should be able to get 200. As for skill, let me just continue leveling up. One more attack, why not? I guess we'll just take it up to level 6 as well. Or maybe even level 8, just to equalize everything. With Lohen at level 80 now, I decided to get a taste of my very first experience going all out with Lohen by adding Nicole to my team. Okay, so I have Nicole with me this time, and also like Bennett, Xiangling, so I'm trying out ML team still, but more importantly, Lohen's damage test. So let me just kind of group all the enemies up together before I just kind of burst. With Nicole though, I think this will definitely be a better team because 1, she's Hexerite, 2, she also has a shield. So don't really think I need to worry that much about taking that much damage. I'm just gonna burst. Wow, 20k damage already? But my shield is gone. Wow. Lohen does so much damage actually. Because adding Nicole actually just makes it like night and day, the difference in damage. To confirm my suspicions, I went to test out the same team against more enemies. Well, I guess we could try out a Hydrotopa. Even though I might just be vaping a lot. But oh well. I mean, Lohen is doing 49k though, like. Wow. He's the only cryo in the team, so I don't see anybody else that's doing 49k. Ah! I mean, what's not different from yesterday is the fact that Lohen is still dying. So he definitely needs to improve on that. Well, maybe my skill issues, I need to improve on that. Next, I went back to my freeze team to see my new and improved Lohen. However, I made a mistake here with my team comp. Let me know if you can spot it. Okay, I want to try out the freeze team's damage. Now that Lohen is a little bit more built. Okay. I'm seeing some 18k there, here and there, but mostly like my attacks are above 10k, which is pretty nice. Yeah, freeze though, maybe not the best, but I would still like to make this team work though. Damage-wise, freeze was okay, but this might have been because of my team building mistake, which I quickly realized and corrected. Okay, so I think I might be figuring out some kind of issue. So this team doesn't have any Hexerite, but if I change Dahlia into a character like Mona, then this will solve my Hexerite problem. Yeah, so I could maybe give Mona like the TTDS, so I'll be able to buff more attack for Lohen potentially. So yeah, I'll definitely just try this team and see how it goes. Let's see if my new improved freeze team will be able to take up the Moon Gecko, which is what Lohen also needs as his own boss material. Most important thing is to be able to heal, which I just did. And now I basically just do my rotations. 11k, okay. 16k, 24k, 17k. Lots of numbers to count, but just gotta remember Lohen does a lot of numbers for his damage, so if we added them all up, that's actually pretty good. Yeah, so one rotation did a good chunk of damage, which I'm definitely more than impressed of. Let's try this again. Yeah, I mean, not bad actually. Yeah, just by adding Mona into the team, Lohen was instantly doing more damage, since he benefits a lot from Hexerite. Next, I went to do a damage test with Lohen by first starting out a team with and without Nicole. Numbers-wise, Lohen was dealing consistent 10k normal attacks, with 20k sprinkled in here and there. Lohen is definitely going back to his old habits, which is getting out of a circle while chasing enemies because he's too hungry to fight. That in itself is fine, but it's kind of annoying having to leave Benez's circle, especially in this team. But I mean, there's definitely some noticeable difference though. This is more of a free-to-play Lohen team I'm trying out, and he does okay damage, around 17k. By slotting the Co into the team, there's an immediate improvement to my damage. Instantly, I'm noticing way much damage. I mean, this is a no-brainer, of course, but compared to Klee, even though they both have Hexerite, Nicole's buffs definitely helps my Lohen more. I know some people that are planning on wishing for Lohen might not have characters like Nicole or even Durin, but rest assured, my free-to-play team comp will get an improvement later on. I went back to the Super Conduct team and continued my testing, but I ran into a roadblock almost instantly. Please don't be Cryo, please don't be Cryo. Is that Cryo? Uh-oh, I think it's Cryo. I don't think that's Hydro. I'll just kill it once and then maybe once it respawns, it'll have a different element. Even though Super Conduct's damage isn't the highest, it was the easiest to play by far, as I didn't have to worry about reactions all that much. This team is also rather free-to-play friendly, with only 4-star characters, so that in itself is also a win. Not bad though, still lots of damage. Ultimately, I just want to see how much damage I'll be able to do without a cryo resistance. Wait, is it cryo again? Well, I guess we could use this boss as a testing ground for Lohen and Super Conduct in general. Because this boss surely doesn't have any strong resistance, right, to it? Even though it's in mid-air most of the time. Okay, so 4,000 average damage. I see a 10k in there. That person itself probably did 20 or 30k, so... This team actually works wonders against the Swanee as I freeze a boss, so I was able to defeat it without taking any damage. Alright, I think it might be just time to finally ascend Lohen to level 90. So that in itself also surpassed 200 crit damage for me, at least in this build. So these are my stats for now. Let me just raise all the skill to level 9. Not gonna crown it just yet. I feel like this is just fitting because 1v1ing another Battle Maniac seems like the way to go. And hopefully I'll be able to actually solo him though. Ah, okay, I got shot. But Child is pretty weak though. Wow, yeah. Where's the health at? Oh, ow, ow, ow. Sorry. Didn't see your health already dropping down to 0. You know, start off with a... Oh, never mind. He's charging me. Joke's on you, I can do it as well. I'm dodging with my charge attacks. You see that? I'm styling on you, Child. Alright, let's finish off Child real quick though. Shouldn't be that hard. Oh, I got overloaded. Wanted to not take any damage, but it's fine. Ow, okay. I just wanted to have a more intense fight, so I got to red HP on purpose. Okay, so with Day 3 upon us, I think it might be time to raise his signature weapon. After I build this weapon, I'll probably do some of the other 5-star alternative testing as well. Of course, if you have White Tassel and only that weapon, you could just use that still, but I'm curious to see how much damage this weapon will also be able to do. I quickly maxed out his weapon to 90. Okay, his weapon is nice and shiny now. So it has a 674 base attack with 22% crit rate. Stats, 69% crit rate and 208 crit damage. So a little bit similar to White Tassel, but yeah, let's just see how much damage he'll be able to do now. Okay, let me see if he can solo take over the Celestial Camp. Damage-wise, okay, without any other external buffs, I'm doing 10k. So I basically went to take over a Helicho camp solo with Lohen. Ooh. I bat that Sama throw away like a baseball. Okay, so since he is Caesar R1, I really want to just test out more of a free-to-play build for Lohen again. So I guess we'll just go here. But instead of Klee, I'm going to use Sucrose instead, since Sucrose won't really mess with my reactions, and she's also able to wield TTDS, which will increase our attack. So yeah, let's just test out this team and see how it does. Sucrose is also another Hexerite character, which synergizes well with Lohen. I'm just hoping Lohen can like actually deal like pretty high amount of damage without Nicole. 25k, 40k, yeah, I mean, not bad actually. This is with Caesar R1 though. But I'm pretty impressed. Wow, finish off all the enemies here with one rotation. And since I also need to farm artifacts, this will also help out a lot. So even without Lohen's best team, I was pretty surprised with how well this team works. And I'm definitely improving each day as I main Lohen through the past few days. Next, I upgraded some physical artifact sets in order to try out a physical team. Okay, so I put on basically some Pale Flame artifact set, and I am ready to try out physical Lohen. Will I be able to be a local legend? I mean, I guess the best way to find out is to just try. Alright, let's see how much physical damage I do. 15k, wait, wow. I mean, Lohen does a lot of like lines. That's actually pretty insane. Like, the amount of like attack he does is like so fast. Which I guess kind of adds up in the long run. Yeah, the only issue is my burst not being up the entire time, but yeah, I mean, overall though, pretty nice build. So anytime when I can, I like to try out physical builds for characters, and in this case, Lohen is actually a perfect character to try out this team with, both because he is a cryo and a polearm user. His fast attacking speed also makes it so that he deals a good amount of damage, making physical a pretty fun way to play. Afterwards, I went to test out Lohen with different weapons against the Kongamoto boss. Okay, so I want to try out Lohen with a few different weapons. So, of course, the PGWS, Classic, and also his signature weapon. Another weapon I also want to test out with is the Staff of Homa as well. So, we're definitely going to be changing a lot of different builds. And then, also I'm going to do his free-to-play option as well. So, let's start with the White Tassel and work our way up. Let's see, his current stats are 69.6 and 235% crit damage. Pretty good. And I'm also going to be using Lohen's premium team. So this is the best of the best. So this is our first sacrifice. And then just burst with everyone. Yeah, so right now he's doing like upwards of 60k, which is pretty nice. And of course, 100k damage on Durin as well. Alright, let's see how much damage I'll be able to do with PGWS, which is another crit rate weapon, so this time I have more attack. Yeah, 72k, so definitely a little bit more damage compared to White Tassel, but not noticing the lat difference. Alright, now with Staff of Homa. $77k, okay. So far Staff of Homa is doing the most damage out of everything else. Last but not least, I used Lohen's signature weapon. Oh, I see 74k. Took only a few hits. I think I did ultimately more individual damage with my slashes. But yeah, I mean, all of the weapons here work, just depending on what you have. So it is now day 4, and let's say I want to dedicate a lot to just the free-to-play players out there and try out a few low-cost, primarily 4-star character teams with Lohen. Also with my White Tassel as well. I know that, of course, being free-to-play doesn't mean you don't have any 5-stars, and there definitely are better alternatives out here, but let me just try out like a Burmel team, sorta, for Lohen, and just see how much damage he does with Melt. Okay. He cleared out this Helicho camp pretty easily. So let's get like a harder enemy or longer fight to determine like how he works in this team. Okay, I guess I'll do ley lines since there'll be more spawns here. That'll be nice. I guess by more spawns, I mean just like this one giant wolf. And this thing, I'm not sure if there's any resistance in it. I feel like there might be, so it's pretty tanky. Rotations are also pretty fun. Oh, they took some kind of debuff, but I'm still able to crit, so I don't think it's really that bad. But this team though definitely maybe lacks a bit of Dendro reaction, so I'll probably need to like play around with my teams a little bit more to see which one will work the best here, since definitely could use more Dendro or Pyro reactions. While going to the next boss, Lohen accidentally slipped. Yeah, I just thought I had to leave this part in the video because it was pretty funny. Anyways, I continued on to take on the Aeon Blight Drake. These teams are definitely lacking in terms of like team comp wise, because I really love to use like Hexerite characters here, but since I'm not able to, I kind of lose out on a bit of damage. So it's a little bit unfortunate, but hopefully it won't matter that much since I'm just fighting some more bosses right now. But it would definitely help if we have like Nicole with Durando in this team. I mean, still, doing more than like 20k damage is like honestly just pretty good in general. I wonder what happens if I bring the Hexerite character though in this team. So I added Mona to the team to test the Hexerite team out and went to challenge one of the bosses that basically has permanent pyro aura, so Lohen can permanently melt, which is the pyro hypostasis. Mona also helps with destroying the pyro hypostasis shield, so she fits in this team perfectly. When the time comes to do damage, I kind of forgot Benensis burst. I came close to finishing the boss. Yeah, so I'm permanently melting with like 12k damage. It's okay. Let's see my burst damage. Nice. It's enough to finish off the boss anyways. After that, I went to challenge the Overseer boss again with my free-to-play freeze team. Mona also works here as a Hexerite and buffer. Damage is actually not bad. In this team, I also do have a Hexerite character as well, so that's pretty nice. Of course, Lowen's cryo applications were insanely high, so he had no problems taking care of the boss's mechanics as well. And eventually, I was able to defeat the boss. Since it's also raining here default, I think freeze team will work nicely because I have perma hydro applications anyways. And it wouldn't really ruin my other reactions, so... Okay. Pretty much phase the boss pretty quickly. I'm seeing like a lot of 10k plus damage. And with the amount of times Lohen hits an enemy, I feel like it's pretty much just like 50k each. Yeah, and also I wonder if Mika's attack speed buffs affect Lohen or not. Because I'm already attacking pretty quickly, so... Not sure if I can see a difference to his attack speed. But yeah, the freeze team is actually working out pretty nicely. At least like this free-to-play one. Of course, I gave Superconduct another go, but with a twist. Instead of building maybe Superconduct primarily, if I just keep on using like the Rising Wind set, which increases a lot of my Lowen's attacks, this actually might be a better set to use, and I'm doing more damage this way. But still though, team comp-wise, I think it works actually pretty nicely because Lohen in general works well with officials as Hexerite, and Rosaria can pretty much help out with some cryo damage, along with Cookie being able to heal. Before ending my artifact farming session, I also noticed a little detail about Lohen. Also, Lohen shoots this little crossbow thing. I don't know what this is called, but yeah. Alright, so we're almost at the end of the week, and it's probably time to just try out some of Lowen's premium teams. And first, I want to try a Burmel team. Of course, with Durin, Nicole, and Emily here, so now we'll be able to demonstrate, I guess, just Lohen's true powers. With the end of the week coming, I tried out a lot of premium teams for Lohen against some of Genshin's weekly bosses. I gotta say, with its flexibility to build a variety of team comps, definitely makes Lohen a very fun character. For the first team, I tried a Burmel team with Lohen. Let's see my damage for Lohen as well. Consistently like around 20k tops. Pretty nice. I'm also using a PGWS as well, which is like a 5-star standard polearm. Lowen's personal damage is pretty high, and along with other sub-DPS characters, this team packs a punch. Alright, let's get my burst back out, and then continue to do the same thing. I see Emily also doing like 40k with Dendro as well there, along with my Duran also kind of just doing a pretty good amount of damage. Boss is kind of annoying because I can't really hit it, but my burst kind of reached it a little bit, at least. Ultimately, I was able to get through the first boss without any issues. So next, I'm obviously going to test out the freeze team. And of course, I'm going to be testing this team out against the chess boss. This freeze will work perfectly here. Lowen's freeze team was decent, and there are some pros and cons. Even though the boss puts up like the electro shields, I think I can still break it pretty quickly. Unlike the previous Burmel team, this team heavily relies on Lowen's personal damage. Alright, we're in the second phase of the boss. I just gotta be careful of like damage. So far though, 20k with my enhanced E, pretty nice. My charge attack is also doing like 25k damage as well, at least. Yeah, like now I'm just kind of implementing some charge attack into Lohen's combos, and I think both are fine. I think the damage is still pretty good for like Freeze. Although it doesn't surpass other team comps, Freeze is easy to play and gets the job done. For the final team, I tried out Lohen's melt team where he basically enables Cryo for Durin to melt. I just want to see what kind of damage I'll be able to cook up. Pretty high damage numbers I'm seeing. I don't know what the boss is doing right now, but I'm just kind of ignoring him and just doing my thing myself. Alright, let's try this again. Also, Nicole and Citali's shield combined. I think I'm pretty safe. Although I'm getting frozen here and there, but yeah, I mean, 80k damage. Pretty high, I would say. Pretty much deleted the boss. I'm not sure if Durin or Lohen is doing more damage, but they're both kind of contributing very well to this team. Alright, so it's now day 6, and I think it's a pretty good time to start doing the Spiral Abyss, just to see whether or not I can beat every single floors with Lohen's team. So we're gonna start with floor 11, and for both chambers, I'll be using Lohen here. For floor 11, I wanted to see whether or not my free-to-play Lohen team is enough to get all 9 stars on this floor. So I'm gonna be bringing my Super Conduct team, and this chamber is actually perfect for me because it's filled with a bunch of actual enemies. So my Cryo is having a very nice time here for sure. Gotta be careful with my HP, but shouldn't be that much of an issue. And Lohen also destroys the Abyss Mage's shield pretty quickly as well. So for the other side, I am using a 4 melt team. I have Sucrose here to kind of CC the enemies, and also Xiangling to deal the melt damage. A lot of enemies are already like infused with Cryo pretty much, so Lohen is like kind of just tickling the enemies, I guess. I could also do physical, but I guess the best mage can maybe do pretty nice damage. And then for this one, I'll just kind of finish it off with my physical attacks. Alright, top of the second chamber. This one doesn't really have exactly electro-infused enemies, but with my Super Conduct kind of team, still able to do Super Conduct damage. And Lohen is doing like 13k damage per Cryo attack, so that's pretty nice. Only 2 enemies here, so I should be fine. What do we have here in the second half? Okay, some Lava Troll, it seems. At least this enemy isn't really completely immune to Cryo, so I can still do like 10k on it with like the resistance. Even though we can't really finish the boss in 1 rotation, it's still like pretty nice. Alright, finally, last chamber. I mean, this is again only floor 11, so I'm not really expecting that much of a challenge, even with my free-to-play team. I'm just gonna be focusing on 1 keeper at a time. Oh, that was so quick. I got rid of 1 like just instantly. I kill it before it puts up its resistance? Not quite. Oh wait, actually it did. Nice. Okay, last chamber for floor 11. This one, finally, we don't have to like deal with any cryo resistance enemies. Hopefully I can keep the enemy inside the circle. Open it. Nice. Oh, nice. I'm seeing 50k damage as well. Pretty good. Now I'm just gonna burst. Wow. This is like the fastest chamber yet. So for floor 12, I tried Lohen's premium teams to see how fast he can speedrun through this abyss. Alright, so for floor 12, I'm using a different team, which is going to be my Vermel team. This team I still haven't really exactly mastered it, but I think it's pretty fun from like the few times I played it so far. Damage-wise is actually pretty good as well, so yeah. Wow. Destroy this Way Op's shield instantly. Sheesh. And now I guess we have this team to also deal with. Luckily, we can still do damage to it, so pretty nice. Okay, so my second team I'm going to be using is the Melt team. Wow, the first enemy just got deleted. This one I don't think is a freeze one. Nope, it's a Natlong one, I believe. Has like a lot of resistance right now, so I might not be able to do as much damage right now. Wait, I can actually brute force through this. No one is actually getting through this without like... Oh, never mind. I'll do the mechanic as well. No one can also jump up, I believe. Let me try. If not, I'll just see Tlali. Yeah. Ow, I got sniped so hard. I gotta be careful. I don't have a shoulder here. This actually makes things more fun. All right, second chamber. Not really happy to fight this team, but hey, who knows? Maybe I'll be able to get rid of his shield fast as well. It's a Electro shield as well, so judging by how quickly Lohen slashes enemies, I think I can get rid of it. Yeah, like pretty nice chunk of HP. And now I have my burst, so it should be an easier time. Ooh, 60k damage. Like I'm surprised, even with like the burn on the boss, I'm still doing a lot of like cryo damage without melt, which basically just shows how fast like Lohen's cryo applications are. Like you don't even actually need to melt to do the damage. So Mirror Maiden, not sure if I need to be careful about their attacks, but as I said, she already got deleted. Now we have a Swanee. Okay, Swanee I think is weak against my attacks, so I should be fine. Yeah, pretty easy chamber for Lohen as well. Actually works perfectly for him because I'm able to like actually counter the boss's attacks pretty easily. Yeah, like so freeze it, and then when it's down, instantly melt the boss down. Oh, it's a Watcher. I think I'm safe. I have both cryo and pyro DPS wise, so I shouldn't be running into any issues. Or maybe I can even kill the boss before it does that mechanic check. We'll see. Already half the HP gone. I'm just gonna burst. Emily burst again. Okay, it's doing it now. I see my damage. Wait, they're both pyro. Okay. But it's looking like Lohen can destroy both of these pretty quickly. Yeah. No problem at all. Alright, final chamber. This is like such an overkill team, but I really like it. Oh, so this boss also just hides. I have Nicole, I could just do this. Oh. It's already over. Okay. Now I can do good DPS, hopefully. So my damage, I'm looking at... Okay, not really that much with Lohen, because I think this boss has like probably cryo resistance. So Duran will be maybe like doing most of the damage here. You know, I'll finish off the boss with my charge attack. Nice. So yeah, that's Abyss. Ultimately, Lohen's teams were able to get all the stars from both floor 11 and 12. So I was pretty happy with the results. Alright, so day 7 is finally upon us, and for this day, I want to dedicate it to basically just unleash Lohen's full power. So I have his signature weapon back, but I'm going to activate his constellations and just see what he's capable of with maximum potential. We're going to do also a lot of different teams as well, with both freeze and melt, just to see how much damage he'll be able to do. And yes, I'm activating C6. But Nicole, I'll probably give her signature though. And we'll be hunting down some local legends and just see how well this team will be able to function. I think my artifacts are also very good. I don't really think I need to change much since I am happy with what my build is right now. I guess talents, yeah. I just maxed it as well. Every talent that he has. As for the bosses, you already know. I'm going to be fighting Rocky as my first victim. I started off my C6 Lohen with none other than local legends, since they are the best to test out my damage. Let's see how much damage I'll get with my constellations being maxed. 90k instantly? Wow. Only Rocky even stands a chance. Okay, maybe he does. Ow, ow, ow. Ah! Okay, lessons learned. Even at C6, it doesn't mean it'll change your skill issues if you can't dodge. Okay, no time to really say anything. We're gonna go straight into the next local legend. Yeah, freeze team though? Not bad. 370k. Right, bursting, because Liam was doing something that I didn't like to see. Wow, 100k with bursts. And this is a freeze team as well. So yeah, don't need to really worry that much about reactions or anything. Just more focus on like my attack, which, yeah, pretty nice damage here. And I did step on lava? Wow, okay. Yeah, one thing I had to watch out for is definitely the one-shot attack from these local legends. In 3 seconds, Liam is gonna die. A little bit less than that, but I guess it's my revenge. So for a super conduct team, the best I could think of is a team with Nicole and 2 other electro characters. It goes nothing. I'm actually kinda scared. There's 2 local legends here as well to fight at the same time. I do have Nicole's shield protecting me. And yeah, Damage-wise, I'm doing pretty good, actually. Gotta worry about like Goat kind of being far away and maybe inches away from tackling me. Wow, okay, I got hit. That hurts. The two local legends here were a bit scary at first, but once I finished off one of them, it made this fight a whole lot easier. I'm gonna kill the Goat. The Goat is definitely like the more annoying one of the local legend, I think. So I guess targeting it might not be a bad idea. Gotta be worried of my shield, because my shield might just disappear. Alright, Goat. You got rid of. Now it's only the Iron Claw, which should be easy. What? Okay, I lied. Hopefully I can actually get a flawless local legend fight out of the way. Don't know if I'm making a mistake, but there goes nothing. I just try to do damage right now. 40k. 70k, okay. Not really melting right now as well. Purely on my cryo damage and the closest buff, I did pretty high damage. Surely I can just do this, right? Yeah. This really show pretty fast. Now the boss is flailing around on the ground. I also don't even think I need to use anybody else. This local legend is pretty easy with him. Okay, never mind. It's like sucking my burst away again, but it's fine. This time, I used my Burnout team against this Water Vis ship, and this team actually worked out well. I kept on going back to Freeze, since it honestly felt like the easiest out of all the teams I played with. I mean, there's so much numbers that I honestly feel like I can't really tell. By just looking at the HP bar and seeing the local legends like HP dropping down, pretty much like less than a minute into the fight, it's pretty telling. Yeah. Mainly Lohen for the last 7 days was an interesting experience. His playstyle is very flexible, and being able to perfectly fit into so many different teams allowed me to never get bored of him. Let me know what teams you personally plan on using Lohen with in the comments below. And I hope you enjoy watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to watch more videos like this. And go check out this next video where I made Mika for 30 days by clicking on the video here.